In this lesson, we will review elements of argumentative writing. Specifically, we will look to identify rhetorical strategies and logical fallacies. Remember, an argumentative text is a text in which the speaker or writer believes something, and they want you to agree that what they are saying is worth considering. In previous lessons, we reviewed claim, reasons, and evidence in support. In this lesson, we're going to learn about the rhetorical strategies that authors use to present their material. And we're also going to learn how to watch out for some of the logical fallacies which will weaken an argument. Rhetorical strategies refer to the approach or the techniques that an author uses to present an argument. There are three rhetorical strategies we're going to look at. Repetition, which is using the same word or phrase over and over to emphasize a particular point. Anecdotes, which are short personal stories that support an idea that the author is making. And rhetorical questions, which are questions that the speaker or the writer put in a text that are meant to get the reader thinking. They're not meant for the writer to answer directly. Dr. Martin Luther King frequently used repetition to emphasize important points in his speeches. You can see in this excerpt from his I Have a Dream speech delivered in 1963, he repeated the words 100 years several times throughout this paragraph. The repetition helped to emphasize that a lot of time had gone by without there being any change. You don't want to repeat a word or a phrase just for the sake of repetition. Make sure that you choose an important concept that you want the reader to understand. Anecdotes are short personal stories that connect the reader to an idea in the text. Anecdotes help make the point come alive for the reader. An anecdote can be a funny story or it can be a serious story, depending on the mood that the author is trying to create. A well-placed rhetorical question can help get the reader thinking about a concept that the speaker or writer is going to present. It is not a question that's directly answered by the writer. For example, you would not say, "Should we all believe this?" Yes, we should. You wouldn't give an answer to a rhetorical question. It's used to stress a point, not to provide an answer. These are just three of the many rhetorical strategies that speakers and authors use. Now let's look at some logical fallacies. Logical fallacies are statements made that undermine the common sense of an argument. By undermine, we mean that they work against a person's logic and common sense. Logical fallacies make your argument weaker, so whether you're writing or reading, you want to watch out for them. One common type of logical fallacy is hyperbole. A hyperbole is an exaggeration. Statements like, "Everybody is buying this product," or "No one agrees with this idea," or "This can impact millions of lives." Those all contain exaggerations. Watch out for words like all, none, never, always. These can give you a clue that there is an exaggeration being made. Stereotyping is another type of logical fallacy that's often found in argumentative writing. Stereotyping means that the speaker or author is presenting a prejudiced attitude or an oversimplified opinion of a group of people. So concepts like all soccer moms drive minivans, or all motorcyclists must be in biker gangs, or men don't like romance movies. These are all ways of stereotyping a group of people. This is definitely something to watch out for when you're reading an argumentative text or you're writing. It will weaken your argument. The last type of logical fallacy we're going to look at is a circular argument. In a circular argument, the author or speaker tries to prove his thesis by simply finding a new way of saying the same thesis. For example, if you said, "People shouldn't gossip because it's wrong to gossip," you're basically saying the same thing. Or, "You need a college education to be successful because without an education you can't succeed." You're not introducing any new reason, you're just restating the claim in a different way. If you are writing an argumentative text, it's really important to brainstorm your reasons before you start writing. This can help you avoid circular arguments. And if you're reading an argumentative text, you want to watch out for this because often a circular argument means that the author or speaker really doesn't have any unique reasons to share that can be compelling enough to persuade you. To sum up, rhetorical strategies strengthen the argument and are used to emphasize an idea or a main point. Logical fallacies will weaken an argument, and they often distract the reader or the listener from the real issue. When you're reading an argumentative text, these are some things you want to make note of. They will help you better understand the argument that the speaker is making. First, you want to make note of who is writing or speaking. Who is your speaker? Next, you want to consider what is the occasion. Is it a formal or an informal argument that the speaker is making? Third, you want to consider the audience. Who is it that this speaker or author wants to influence? Who is their ideal reader? Fourth, you want to consider the purpose. Why is this person writing or speaking? What are they hoping to achieve? And last, where is the writing or speaking taking place? What is the setting for this argument? To help you remember all of these things, if you look at the first letter of each of these words, it spells the word soaps. When a speaker or author is putting an argument together, they consider these 5 soaps to determine the tone that they want to create. For example, if they're trying to create a lighthearted, humorous tone, they're going to choose words that fit with that. If they're trying to create a serious tone, then they would choose very different words than if they were trying to create a humorous argument. Knowing the speaker, occasion, audience, purpose, and setting helps determine the tone. Remember this word, soapstone, when you're analyzing an argumentative text. It will help you remember the types of things you need to look out for. Knowing the elements of soapstone will help you understand why an author or a speaker chose the rhetorical strategies that they did.